reality of the situation was, a lot of those questions were answered last night, and the County Tourism Commission has sent a letter this morning recommending that we move forward with a lease of 1 year. And you were at the meeting like yesterday evening. Do you have anything to say?
No, sir, I think everything, like, again, as you stated, Judge, I believe it was just miscommunication and some lack of more appropriate way to put this, he said, she said type things that have gone on. And I think as Mr. Wills does, that the error was clear last night and all the questions were answered to an appropriate degree. I feel more comfortable even after last night's meeting than I did with his presentation and the subsequent conversations I've had with he and Mr. Evans. So I think, according to what they have in front of us here today with the recommendation, I feel we should move forward as well.
Of course, Fred, will have to have a lease in place with them, and I have to explain to you, we've got kind of a standard lease agreement that we utilize for any of the county facilities. We'll draft a lease and present that to your group. If the court's okay, I think it might be something we can get in place by April 1. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, it won't be a problem in the drafting. I just need information.
Okay.
Yeah, we can give you a layout of the exact space and different things, building addresses, all of that would be.
Parties, addresses, space. I don't recall if there was an amount. And if there's any particular terms over and above what we normally put in, I'd need to know them, and I think we can.
1 year.
And Tony, if you would measure the space of the room as well.
Yes, sir, I'll get the correct square footage for you.
Okay. We'll get all that, and if you're good with that, of course, like I said, all of our leases are standard, rather than having to, we may have to bring a document back at some point to, if you are, or something you all want to amend to it, or that there's we present it to them and they are not acceptable to it because of the language, then you all will have to agree to change something. I mean, that may be necessary, but if you all wanted to move forward today with approving a 1 year lease agreement with Back Roads of Appalachia related to the depot, you can do that and authorize me to sign any and all documents. And like I said, we would produce our standard agreement. If there were issues with it, it would have to come back before court before anything could be signed. But 1 year agreement, and it was their proposal was to pay $500 a year for this kind of this trial basis, we're calling it, to see how this goes. So I would entertain a motion then to approve drafting in a 1 year lease with Back Roads of Appalachia for utilization of space in the Lynch Depot at the rate of $500 per year, and authorize me to sign any and all documents.
I will certainly make that motion, Judge.
Mr. Brown,
Is that per year?
For 1 year?
1 year.
The rent was $500 per year?
Yes, for the year.
Yes, sir.
Seconded by Clark Miller. Before we take a vote on it, Mr. Wills, I give you the opportunity to say anything you'd like to say, and I know there's some people that were here, that were not here last month, that are here today. If you want to educate them on what exactly your group is planning to do there.
What Back Roads of Appalachia is a nonprofit organization. Our goal is to drive motorsports, motorcycle traffic into the area, generating economic growth, economic opportunities. Our initial, and I'll add this, our initial discussion about using the depot was to have that as a welcome center. As these vehicles, motorcycles, cars, whatever come over, they'll often stop. If there's a welcome area, it's an opportunity to share information about the area. We were going to do educational stuff. We already had talks about with the portal, with coal mining and so forth. Due to concerns about traffic coming in and out of the depot, what our discussion has been would be simply to use that more as a headquarters for Back Roads of Appalachia, a physical address for our board, to have board meetings, staff meetings. we used it for a welcome center, we were probably going to employ, I would say initially, 3 people to work there to greet visitors coming in, coming over the rides. We're backing up from that because of concerns about activities in the portal. We will have a welcome center. We've got other plans and ideas for that. We will bring local people into it as employees. We will be working with some of the local businesses where they would be able to participate in that, have a presence. And again, all that is to drive economy and help Appalachia, you know. But the one thing when we discussed, and I don't know if it's possible, as we are not planning to have visitors and traffic coming through there, is there a way to waive the $1 million liability insurance requirement? Since primarily we will be looking basically at having that for a business meeting space.
It made me nervous.
Yeah, I think we need to go better to consult Keiko on that.
Sure.
It's standard in all of our building leases regardless of the activity that's taking place in them. So I don't know if that's something that we can get around.
I'm just asking, because
Yeah. Sure.
we're on a shoestring, and until we can have that physical address and get the approval, we're nonprofit in Tennessee and Virginia. We've got our tax number and everything. We were using that as the address initially to apply for the final,
Status.
right. And the attorney has already done all that. We'd had to back up until we knew where we're gonna stand, so we will have an actual physical address.
Sure.
And ideally, from the standpoint of applying for grants, so we can do the things we wanna do in the area, being in a government-owned building is beneficial to us and ultimately beneficial to the county.
Sure. And we look forward to seeing the unutilized space utilized.
Yeah, well,
The visitors that come along with that.
and for those who hadn't heard and so forth, our primary outreach for tourism is through social media, Facebook. We put our Facebook page up on December 28th. This week, or probably this week, we will probably turn over 3 million hits on our Facebook page. We've got, we will probably break 3,500 likes on the page. We're generating a lot of interest. We've got groups coming in from Ohio, from Pennsylvania, and it's
certainly impressive.
You all aren't ready for the numbers of folks that are going to be coming into this area, and that's a good thing and a bad thing, but it's going to bring a lot.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, exactly.
Excellent. So we have a motion and a second. Look forward to seeing if any questions for Mr. Wills. Appreciate you taking time to be here today for that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we'll look into the other issue with the question you asked regarding the lease and see what can be, if there's anything that can be evaluated there.
Mr. Wills, you're welcome to leave. I know you have some time constraints, and I certainly appreciate your time yesterday and today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Item 14 is to approve a land usage agreement between, get back in order here. Approve a land usage agreement between Harlan County Fiscal Court and Joel Coops. Authorize the judge executive to sign any and all documents. This is on a piece of property, Tony, that is Atwood Jr., is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Bill, that's in your district, are you familiar with that, or you have any problems with it?
Yeah, he's been holding this piece of property. His brother-in-law and sister had it. Brother-in-law passed away, and sister-in-law no longer able to upkeep it, so Joel, they've agreed to let Joel go ahead and take possession of it.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's made by Bill Moore, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Sparky Milton, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 15 is for the approval of contract for FEMA disaster resolution 4358 hazard mitigation grant for the Gilbertsville buyouts, retroactive to March 10th, 2020, and authorize judge executive signing all documents. This has been a grant that we have worked on and it's been approved for about 4 years. And it was approved by FEMA to acquire some properties in the Gilbertsville community to move some people out of the way of a mudslide. However, as with anything with the federal government, it takes years to get something done. And it has taken years to get this done. However, we finally gotten to a point that these buyouts are actually going to occur. So, and as with anything with the federal government, when they're ready to move then. So I went ahead and signed this in hopes that you would give me approval retroactively, considering we waited 5 years to do so.
Exactly.
Bill Moore has made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Jim Roddy. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's gonna be good for those people up there to finally get made.
For those who may not know where Gilbertsville is, it's just on the outside of Everett on 215.
Yes.
And we had a major
A
slide.
major slide impacted several residents. There was a couple that chose not to do the buyout program. They want to stay, but the home, there was a home actually pushed off the foundation. And very significant slide. So,
I'm glad to see this
yeah,
moving
it's
forward.
good to see it. We had all ayes, it was unanimous. I know we're about 2 hours in here. Would it be prudent, could I make a motion to recess for 10 minutes? I make a motion to second to recess for 10 minutes. Second for James Howard. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Too good.
While we're in recess, social distancing.
Yeah, that's good. Did you get up with Karen? I mean, Alice. I'm gonna get closer if you didn't get up with Alice, get my feet over my phone.
We got
a candy up there. I ain't got no phone to call you with. Oh, Jim, you can't get no money, the guys are giving them.
Oh, you got the real, whatever. You got the good ones.
It's that time.
Yes.
Come, John. John, you doing okay?
Separate a little bit.
back COVID.
Okay.
Johnny,
Back COVID demon.
What happened, John? All right. All right.
Two options are, one, too close, too close. Hold that meter to the pole, to the centers, okay, or the
What was it?
I don't know.
We need a big mirror now.
Yeah, you can do that, or what you can do is you move them, you know, if you all before you have, you know, you can move them to wherever you need, you got okay, party to do. And also, if you really forget to have what they said, just like I had those. So we have certain kind of folks that will do a deal, and we you know, that's what you suggestion, probably sitting there not being you.
Started up in there.
I burned it up getting caught.
Let it down.
That's ridiculous.
Come to order?
Hey,
No, no.
I will get the square footage measured, and I'll be photographs and things like that.
At least I hadn't been out on the road.
Back up. Back up.
What'd you get done?
But he said, we give you 15 minutes to do people in that summer. I thought, man, cut it down to 5 anyway.
Spinning the truck for 2 weeks, anything on his
And then you gotta have
Just
something.
spinning my truck for 2 weeks, anything on his list.
Communication.
They call me about it. They call me about it.
No problem.
Sure you don't have him in the program.
What time did you have us? Everything. I know you were there, it's one,
But I guess everybody has to make one, so.
no, if you go to this, he'll be put.
Really, I'm learning to get up slow and take first 2 steps even slower.
He said he would do more information later.
I couldn't remember what he was saying.
Busy place.
I would say, I say it like business, closing day.
You're square.
Well, does it take you much to do?
You know, hope I didn't speak out of turn from the audience, but I figured it was
No, it was.
delegation.
Had good information, John.
Was good.
Well, I had to think of, I thought anybody else had heard this about
No, I
this.
had to hear that.
Was good.
I did a story with Tyler Black, I saw the
I
ring.
think we were getting the two people all together.
If you can just get in between all rounds and make it.
Well, what I was thinking is, even more ahead, or did it pay more police officers? I don't know what he got.
Thirty years now. They don't make no money there. Of course, everyone's gone, and I am not, I
Dad say,
Don't forget, maybe, some set here on Bill Grid Bus Road. Don't forget to do the mowing schedule. Fritz said it was no hurry. You know, watch everything. Hey, nobody's seen nothing illegal. They done in there.
I didn't think it'd ever get like this.
And I hope this is going as good as it's going to get.
don't see any good work.
If you look at what they're doing, they're able to run.
it's good enough.
Take it. No, if they don't do it,
And Terrence said, they can come next time.
You didn't get yours from that guy.
One month, or something good.
Well, it didn't work out for Lynn, that star interview, where he
We need to get the
I can't hear you.
We need to get the talk changed from wine to liquor. Because if we drink liquor, I said, you got to call it.
Change the wine.
Two people change the wine.
Bishop said, hey, you never, you don't have to go.
COVID people.
Drink liquor in the house. I gave it up to Lynn. That's
What?
one thing that the bishop.
I don't have to,
Yeah,
I'm
so that's what I
75.
said, that's what I'm gonna try to
That's
do really
right. One
quick.
thing that the bishop didn't do, he didn't do away with Lynn. Where's security officer is out
It should be.
Maybe it's sometime.
Didn't do it. Still got Lynn.
The main
Still got
thing is,
Easter.
otherwise, it's a tough time for everybody.
Still got Easter coming up.
We really don't know what to do.
Donate a lot, don't you? What you wanna do?
Easter.
Just have a good time.
Now is, this is, they're gonna go every week now. Won't have it, and 1:30, 3 weeks now.
And that was the
Hey, he stole my line.
Yeah, 3 weeks, that's right.
I used to tell that guy I played with that word for years ago.
Cut it out.
He went ahead.
Pretty good setup.
That's all right, I was over at the back of James. I told him, he said, when you shut that water meter off, it's still well to
We got, Thomas Leo's first communion. That's what I thought, we got, sort of keep it with convert. He was first communion. So come into church on Easter, but DL will have his sometime.
5 of the first 6 weeks.
Julian's birthday was today.
Got a lot of points.
St. Patrick's Day, so they sent us a video of good luck her after birthday cake and ate.
I had to make that motion like you did.
That was a good idea, but maybe tying that into the depot.
It's not.
About everything is.
Donnell's lobby.
All there and then maybe straight to the people outside, and have a look at the dollars, I knew you had to go set it.
I've been taking, you long, 10 years. And so,
You know, I don't know, like, where they said that.
6 months ago, they full amount of neighborhoods.
I know you get a lot of
Generic.
generic.
Last month, he taken the generic. Put me on allopurinol, which I tried early, making it go up. Huh? They won't pay me enough, and that's up 10 years worth.
And I think, you know,
It's some
utilize all
bitches.
the assets that you can.
What do you get on?
The easiest way to set a whole net bedroom, knock off.
Hey, real.
Second thing is,
Long.
I don't think that's perfect. They may have some
Okay.
somewhere.
They had some, they take it one up there by the
We-
church,
whatever.
they may just take that out.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Battery banks.
That'd be a great idea.
Wire everywhere.
Because that helps.
Live from one to the other and things like that. It's just something, it's not.
He said, Scott,
I'll make a motion to return to regular session from recess. It's been 10 minutes, hasn't it, Fred?
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Clerk Hudson. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 16 is to award a bid for Airport Road US 119 sanitary sewer line extension project. Authorize judge executive to sign any and all documents. This was the Section 531 grant that we received from the Corps of Engineers. Of course, we do have some local contribution to that. This project was bid, and there was a bid opening on March the 12th. Mr. Miller has provided a letter. I think that's in your packet. The people that attended the bid opening were Kerry Stevens from my office, Ryan Creeks, the treasurer, and Joe Metters, the mayor of the city of Harlan. There were 2 bidders, and there were also 2 plant holders, Ash Mountain of Harlan and Aikens Excavating of Corbin. Did not issue any addendums during the advertisement period. The bids are as follows. Ash Mountain Inc.'s bid is $1,530,978. Aikens Excavating's bid was $1,803,305.50. It would be my recommendation, as well as Mr. Miller's, the project engineer, that we accept the low bid of $1,530,978 by Ash Mountain Inc. Motion by Sparky Middleton, is there a second? Second by James Howard. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Sorry. Motion carries.
Just saying.
Item 17 is to approve boat slip and camper rental rates at Stone Mountain Boat Dock. What we've been doing up there for the last little bit is we've been doing $50 a month on everything, whether that's a boat or a camper. We've had a few campers coming up there, but after reviewing everything, these guys have been tying into our power, and paying $50 a month and using our power, that's not a good deal for us at all. So I'm gonna recommend today that we set the rates for 2020 at $50 per month for boats and $75 per month per camper, but each camper will be required to establish their own electrical service. So they'll have to work that out with KU to get a meter set for their service, and they'll be responsible to pay their own electric. And I feel that's fair, and I feel it's reasonable to the situation. So that'd be my recommendation, 50 per month for boats, 75 per month per camper at the Stone Mountain Boat Dock, and each camper would be required to establish their own electrical service. Any problems with that?
Nope. Make a motion.
Motion by James Howard, second by Bill Moore. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 18 would be to reject the standalone structure bids for the animal shelter roof. We proceeded forward with the actual roof project, to actually put a real roof on that. Of course, you paid the bills today, which included a payment for the down payment on that project. So it'd be my recommendation to go ahead and reject the standalone structure bids. Motion by Bill Moore, second by Jim Roddy. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion carries. Item 19, I'm going to talk about this for a minute. So next week, March 22nd through the 28th, is Commonwealth Cleanup Week as directed by the state. As you all are aware, there's a lot of roadside litter and stuff like that as it relates to, you know, we've been in the winter months, the inmates haven't been as active in being out picking up garbage and that type of thing. We had a flood, which results in ditches being filled up, litter moving along in the ditches, which are located next to the roadways. You know, a lot of litter out there. We got to do better as a community and as citizens in being proactive in educating our kids about why we should not litter, but not littering ourselves. And I've often joked, if you look at mine and Chad Brock's vehicles, you know we don't litter. Because there's a lot of garbage that we keep, whether it's drive-through bags or pop bottles or whatever. But you know, we gotta be more responsible and not litter and keep our communities clean. What I'm gonna recommend though is, given the situation that we're in, we cannot expect people to come together in groups to go out and pick up litter during this time. We can encourage people not to litter, and if individuals want to go out on their own free will and pick up garbage over the next little bit, if it's pretty outside, then they're welcome to do that. But I can't in good conscience, knowing what's going on, I can't in good conscience encourage people to come together in groups like we usually see occur during Commonwealth Cleanup Week. because of what's going on with this pandemic. Commonwealth cleanup right now is scheduled for March 22nd to 28th. I'm going to ask that we not reflect that today. I'm going to ask that we not reflect that today and not recognize it next week because of what's going on, but that we instead identify a week in the future of which we can incorporate Commonwealth Cleanup Week and Pride Cleanup together. April is supposed to be Pride Cleanup Month. I imagine that that's going to get delayed probably till at least May. So we'll seek guidance. Like us, have you heard anything from Pride? The state, I expect to probably change it on their part related to the state's portion regarding the Commonwealth Cleanup Week. So, but I think right now we cannot ask people to come together in groups to go do cleanups. The inmates aren't out there picking up litter, but what we can ask you to do is not litter. Don't litter. You know,
Practice social distancing with humans, but not with your litter.
that's right.
Keep it with
Keep your litter with you. Throw it away in a garbage can. And, the other thing I want to kind of to brag on for a minute. You don't see this in the newspaper, okay? I'd like to see it in there next week. Hint, hint.
Not called.
You don't see these things, all right? But Tony and Lycus have done a phenomenal job in getting people in court for illegal dumps, for non-payment of garbage bills, things that pertain to stuff like that. Small claims court for back unpaid garbage bills, they've already had 31 this year done, 100% of the cases won.
Judge, there was a missing thing on that. I should have included that was just for 6 months because we didn't
Right.
start it until June.
Since June, yeah.
But everything else is for the year, sir.
31 cases since June, 100% won on our part. So if you don't want to get taken to court, you need to find a way to get your garbage bill on a payment schedule that works for you and us. Because he's putting people in court with the cooperation of the county attorney to make sure that people are paying their garbage bill. It's ordinance, we all gotta do it, we all pay it, whether we live in the city or the county, you gotta pay your garbage bill. And we've had 31 that have been taken to court, and all 31 have had to pay what they owe, either up front or some type of payment arrangement has been made. 51 payment agreements have been signed. That's not counting the people that went to court. So, you got additional people that have come in and said, I don't want to go to court. I want to make a payment arrangement because I have a delinquent garbage bill. 51 people have done that. Illegal dumping, we've caught 15 different illegal dumpers. Several of those have went to court. Several are still under investigation. And there are several cases scheduled for trial in April. So that keeps ramping up. We've had cameras at some of these hot spots where we've had illegal dumps for years and we've caught them. So if you're illegal dumping, don't do it. We have a landfill, we have a transfer station, we have means for you to be able to dispose of your garbage in a proper manner. We have universal garbage service. Universal pickup. Everybody's on garbage service. So don't haul your garbage off and throw it over a hillside. Tourists that come in here don't want to look at it, neither do our residents who are responsible. Be responsible. Solid waste and nuisance complaints had 70, and about 85 to 90% have been resolved. Right now, there's 2 active bench warrants related to ordinance violations and investigations. So far, we've been able to recoup about $600 in court costs and $1,000 in cash settlements related to the garbage bill. So there's a lot more to be done, a lot more work to be done on that. But Tony and Lycus have worked together on that and are doing a great job collaborating on that. And we appreciate the sheriff's office as well for assisting in the investigations, and the county attorney's office for assisting in the prosecution. But we have a long way to go in this regard. So today, I'm going to ask the fiscal court for permission to create a program that would comply with KRS, let me get my numbers straight. KRS 512.070 is criminal littering. Criminal littering may be classified as a civil offense. KRS 433.757 states that any city or county may offer and pay rewards for the giving of information leading to the arrest and conviction of any person, firm, or corporation for a violation of that statute. So I spoke with Matt yesterday and the sheriff about how we could incorporate a program that would incentivize people to call the sheriff's office with a tag number and a description of the individual driving the vehicle that they see littered. The sheriff's office is willing to be a part of that. It would be my recommendation for the next couple of months, we can define it for however long you want to, we can say till the end of June if you want to, but that we implement a program that would create a reward of $100 for information that leads to the conviction or guilty plea of a person who is criminal littering or illegal dumping. Yep. Motion by Sparky Middleton.
Second.
Second that. And we'll define the parameters in a document for the sheriff's department, but if you as a citizen witness someone throw a McDonald's bag out, and you can write down their tag